So what,
Right.
just so it's clear for people that are listening, what you identified, as I understand it, is that you were deficient in the minerals that you were actually taking. So for instance, a lot of people take magnesium, and
Mhm.
you were finding that if you were taking magnesium, you were deficient in magnesium. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Right, right, right.
So we
And this, of course, gets depleted by EMFs and anything else, right? All these mineral levels are so necessary. You feel stressed because of your the load you're under, whether it's stress or EMF or both. So minerals are the elements on that periodic table that you've seen. And when you think about that, it becomes pretty evident that if everything in the planet that we're here on is made of that collection of elements, that's what the periodic table represents, right? Is a collection of all the elements. Would it be most important to test for that above everything? Because that is the most foundational thing. I think the answer is obviously yes. The question becomes, well, how do you test? And it turns out that blood isn't a very good place. Hair is the best place because blood is we use the term lifeblood, right? And that is because the body is so smart that it will pull from knowing that the blood has to be very tight in a pH range. It'll pull from the bone marrow. It'll pull from the organs to normalize the blood.
Therefore, this explains what you said before about blood is us on our best behavior. So it's kind of fooling us in a
Yes,
way.
it is, and for that reason, I believe that we can spot a deficiency maybe even more than 10 years in advance with hair, but at least a decade sooner for that reason, right? Because by that understanding, by the time you see a deficiency in your blood, wow, you could have addressed it so much sooner. And that's what we want to do, right? So hair is this early warning sign, and when you test quarterly, which is what we recommend, because you have fresh data. So you want to test quarterly and act upon those new results because your activity is changing, you get more energy, and now suddenly you're training for a half marathon. And then now your levels change more because your output is what? Higher.
Mm.
So you want that updated map.
Trying to
So
keep on track, and the track's
yeah, you just
changing. Maybe the
right.
way is changing a little.
Right. It is, of course, because your output is changing. Even if you're eating the exact same diet, that same diet will not be good for you
Of course.
because
Well, because we're
you're all the
evolving,
variants. Yeah,
and
we're
yeah,
evolving.
and the world is evolving, and it's
Right.
not just the food we're eating which is determining everything, even though it's important, but we're evolving in so
Hmm.
many ways, energetically, for
Hmm.
instance. That's
Hmm.
obvious, and we've got all these environmental exposures, all these different toxins which are evolving
Hmm.
all the time. So therefore, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Blood is telling you whenever you have a deficiency in your bone marrow or organs, which takes years possibly, because those are the savings accounts. Yeah. If
Okay.
our blood pH dips just a little bit, we die. If we
Yeah.
run out of magnesium, we have a heart attack immediately. Like these, if we don't have enough sodium, our people think it's the other way, but it's actually it's actually the opposite. If you don't have enough sodium, you retain a ton of fluid to retain the sodium. You swell to the point of, yeah, like literally you can die from that too. So
Right.
the minerals are so important. In fact, minerals influence our personality to such a great degree that,
We've got mineral depletion, as I understand it, with electromagnetic field exposures. And we've also got the issue of heavy metals.
yeah, certainly. So with heavy metals and heavy metals are the other bad guys, right? So as we and EMFs, if you think of those as sort of the bad guys as well, or the yeah, that frequency is very deleterious to the body. So how do we protect against it, right? I recommend a qualified practitioner that knows this area, not qualified in some other area, which is great. Specifically, I mean specifically with this test because it's affordable, but it's also more nuanced than any other functional medicine test out there, perhaps, except like a GI map or something. I don't know. It depends. And the important thing to understand is that when you get magnesium from your food, which is totally dependent on the soil and the nutrients there, like we talked about off camera, right? That is so critical to understand, because your body doesn't go, well, Lloyd, you need this form of magnesium for this form of tissue in the body. That's not how it works, is it? We go, well, there's magnesium in the food that you're eating. If there is, then the body breaks it down to a point, an atomic point, where you can get into your cells. And throughout all, like it crosses the blood-brain barrier. Yes, it does. So if that makes sense, with that understanding is where I started designing products from, and designing the process behind the products, so that we can take any form of selenium, magnesium, any supplement, any mineral, certainly, and get it into this, this place where your body can absorb it without digestion. We see that people not only improve their deep sleep and improve their HRV, but which are the lead dominoes in sleep and overall health, because that's where you're, when you're getting a lot of deep sleep, you're repairing your DNA and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So and you're protecting against EMFs, and the body is healing, and sleep is really our nature's best attempt at immortality, is so it's our rejuvenation process that happens.
Yeah. So this is what your work is about, really, it seems, is making a better version of yourself, Barton. I think that's what and what we can achieve by working with you through a qualified practitioner, as I understand it. And it's about using this superior assessment tool, which is hair tissue mineral analysis, to identify what the situation is, exactly what we need to correct, and then using these formulas that you've created to correct, which have superior absorption. Is that it in a nutshell? Tell me.
I think that's right. When you get your minerals right and you start to excrete heavy metals, which minerals also do, that's the cool thing, is minerals play offense and defense, and they activate all your enzyme pathways and your vitamins. And so there's certain pathways, like methylation pathways, that you just will not work if you don't have minerals.
You've got people's health who's turning around within weeks, within days of taking these minerals.
So wherever you are in your life, if you're like, this is the best health I've ever been in, congratulations, it could be better. And this is an area to focus on. If you're one of those people that are concerned about viruses in the world, literally your viral susceptibility is something we can see, and something you can improve.
Listen, Barton, thank you so much for sharing here today.
Thank you.
And thank you, listener, for attending. Great information. Again, I think you'll agree, if you're looking for solutions for EMFs and their effect on your health, this interview and all my previous interviews are in the EMF Expert Solutions Club with transcript. My name is Lloyd Burrell.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.